Good evening, Audrey. Nice to meet you. My name is Gigi Trevino, and I'm a pre-law student. So before we officially start, we discussed before our appointment that you would be all right with me recording, but I also would like to ask for permission to jot down some notes.
Of course.
Okay, perfect. And also, I do peep your Twice poster in the background.
Thank
I
you.
love it. You like K-pop?
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
NCT is my alt group.
NCT?
Mm-hmm.
BTS is my alt group. Embarrassingly, they are my alt group. Okay, so today I would like to discuss the facts and the testimony of what occurred between Jane Mason and Virginia Packman. I already know that you are in no way involved in the case, so rest assured that any information that you disclose with me will not be used against you in any way. As a pre-law student, I'm just interested in negligence cases, so all the information you provide with me today will be used for my own personal study and practice. Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay, this interview will be about 7 to 10 minutes long. So with our time constraints, please share with me as much information as you can remember to the best of your ability. And if you don't know an answer, just please say so.
Of course. Okay.
Okay, perfect. So I'd like to start with you briefly describing the incident between Jane Mason and Virginia Packman.
So it happened on Thanksgiving Day, a little over a year ago, which fell on November 24th. The Packmans invited over the Masons for Thanksgiving dinner. And a little into the night, the two men went into another room to discuss business matters while Virginia and Jane stayed in the dining room, where there was an incident that Virginia dropped the carving knife as she was carving the turkey, and it impaled Jane's foot.
Okay. So you said that the two men went into a room.
Yes.
Correct? Was that before or after dinner?
It was before dinner.
Before dinner. Perfect. So the type of injury is Miss Packman dropped a knife on Miss Mason's foot.
Yes.
And it impaled her. And so do you know the relationship between Jane Mason and Virginia Packman?
I believe they're neighbors who just became really close friends. The two couples became really close.
Do you know if there was any dispute beforehand? Was there any grudges or altercations before this?
No, it seemed to just be that Jane was sitting down and Virginia happened to drop the knife right onto her foot. Nothing else happened prior to that.
Okay. So Thanksgiving Day, about a year ago. And do you know what happened after the fact? Afterwards, it seems like an accident, but afterwards, after the initial knife hit the foot, do you know what the reaction was? Did the men come out?
The men came back. One of the men made a phone call calling an ambulance, and then Virginia rode with Jane in the back of the ambulance to the hospital. And then later that night, they went back to their house and continued to have a cold dinner.
So one of the men, which of the men was it?
I'm not sure.
Okay, no problem. Okay, since Miss Mason is suing for negligence, there has to be on Miss Packman's side like a duty of care. Do you since it was Miss Packman's house, or was it Miss Mason's house?
It was Miss Packman's house.
It was Miss Packman's house. Do you know what they were doing when the knife fell?
They were seemingly just chatting. They were just talking to each other. She was sitting, Jane was sitting as Virginia was just carving the turkey.
But the men were not present.
No,
Do you know why they would be carving a turkey when the men weren't present?
I am not sure.
Okay. So the type of injury would be considered physical, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And there was no altercation. So this does look like it is an accident. And they were neighbors and they were roommates. The time of day, do you know the time of day by chance?
It was in the evening.
And so, can you tell me again, after the ambulance was called, who went in the ambulance with her?
Virginia went with Jane in the ambulance as per request.
As per request. And then she came home directly afterwards?
Yes, that night they came home to the Packman's house.
Just the Packmans, right?
Yes. Oh, it was the Masons and the Packmans. They went back to the Packman's house to have dinner.
Okay. And there didn't seem to be any altercation after that?
No, there was no bad blood.
No bad blood. So just to clarify from what I've gathered, everything the night of Thanksgiving, November 24th, about a year ago, the Packmans invited the Masons over for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
Um, both of the husbands, the two men, went into another room to go take a phone call. And Miss Packman was carving the turkey, and Miss Mason was sitting when the knife fell and impaled her foot.
Yes.
And then one of the men called the ambulance. Miss Packman did accompany Miss Mason in the ambulance as per request. And then everybody came back, both of the Masons, both of the Packmans, came back to Miss Packman's house to finish Thanksgiving dinner, although it was cold. And there seemed to be no bad blood, no bad emotions, no hard feelings at the time.
Yes.
Okay. And is there anything that you would like to add? Any information that I might have missed or haven't asked? Anything you think is important?
That night in the ambulance, Virginia Packman offered to pay for Jane's medical bills, and Jane declined, saying that they have really good medical coverage. Walter has really good medical coverage, so that wouldn't have been an issue.
Did anything else happen after that?
No.
No. Okay, so Miss Packman did offer Miss Mason to pay for the medical expenses, which she declined.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Just that it wasn't just that she slipped up. She had the reason for it being a negligence suit is due to her having greasy fingers while she was holding the knife, which is the reason that the Masons are blaming her because she should have wiped her hands, been more careful with the knife. And yes.
Okay, so her greasy fingers is like the cause of like the Masons suing them for negligence.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Well, if there is no more information that you would like to provide with me, we are at the end of our interview. It looks like our time is running a little short. So if there is nothing that you'd like to say furthermore, I would like to thank you for taking time out of your day to interview with me and answer my questions. I do truly appreciate your assistance and your cooperation this evening. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I hope you have a great rest of your night.
Yes, likewise. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.